There were plans to put in place some sort of management system for NHS managers, and these were abandoned by Matt Hancock, partly because of the COVID pandemic, but partly, I suspect, because he wasn't really invested in the idea that bureaucrats should be properly regulated. And so the idea, Tom Clark has called for a regulator to be created to maintain a register of NHS executives in the same way that there's a register for the General Medical Council. And he said that in 2019, a Health Directors Standards Council should have been created with the power to disbar managers for serious misconduct. And in 2019, Hancock said that he could see the attraction of such a system. However, he didn't adopt the recommendation, and nor did anybody who followed him. So the NHS this coming month is producing a new system, but there's no sanctions, there's no system for that. We need an ability to strike off managers who have been involved in incompetence. So there should be standards of competence, which I believe there will be in this new system, but and with mandatory references. But we should make sure that NHS executives who fail in one job can't then move on to another with a sort of nod. And that is exactly what they're doing at the moment. And if there's a problem in one place, they just move to another. And we need to stop that. It's a little bit like headmasters or head teachers, I should say. They just go from place to place, particularly if they're linked to Ofsted. And we need to make sure that people with a cloud are not involved in high-ranking NHS management again. And so when there is a problem, that is addressed. And if it's not addressed, then the managers responsible at that time are people who will face some sort of consequence. And the BMA has called again and again for non-clinical managers to be regulated. So it makes no sense to have doctors regulated, but their managers are not. And the real problem in the NHS that I would identify is with management and with the bureaucracy. And that is out of control. And these people are paid far too much to be overlooked. Far too much. So I find it extraordinary that the finger of blame points specifically at Matt Hancock yet again. Matt Hancock had so much going for him and failed so adroitly in almost everything he managed to touch. It's as if he had the Midas touch in reverse, but he's not the only member of the Conservative Party to have manifested that recently. We have seen a slow decline in standards. I think this is about a failure of the system of government. And I don't think it's specific to the Conservative Party. I think the rot set in at some point round about the turn of the century, and it has gone on and gone on and gone on. And what we have seen now, I hope we've seen the bottom of it. And Boris's tenure and remember, Boris was not thrown out because he was a bad politician. Boris was thrown out, and not even in a sense because he was proven to be a liar. He was thrown out because he was a liability. And the Conservative Party can certainly identify that as a problem. And the same thing with Liz Truss. To have liability after liability. And I think, frankly, Mrs. May. But these people were walking testimonies of chaos even before they got their hands on the key to number 10. So the question has to be, in what system are these people allowed to operate as controllers. And you could say the same thing about the people in control in the NHS, or in the railways, or in teaching. It goes through our society. How is it that these people have got to the top?